We are coming to you from the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Jose Abreu, Melky Cabrera, Avisario Garcia, and our Sox as they get set to butt heads with Prince Fielder and Jeff Bannister's Texas Rangers. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you this three-game set, the first of it. As you know, we're coming off that two-game stint with the Pirates where they won both games. We got 7 hits in those 2 games. That's how good they are pitching. But tonight we've got a couple of teams and a couple of historic occurrences, one positive, one negative.
The negative one is the offense of the Sox, and it's getting to be historic proportions. And when you take a look at the numbers, you'll just shake your head. Take a look at the 4 games against Pittsburgh. The Pirates at 331 as opposed to 112. And everything is very similar, 46 hits as opposed to 13. And with the White Sox getting 4 hits or fewer in 4 straight games, it's the first time in franchise history. You have to go back over 102 years for that. And unfortunately, it hasn't worked out particularly well. However, on the positive side of the equation, it's the strikeout string of Chris Sale. He's been absolutely brilliant. One of 3 pitchers with 12 or more strikeouts in 4 straight games. Pedro Martinez did it 3 times. Randy Johnson did it once. They both did it 5 times. We'll see if Chris can go after that tonight against a very sleepy Texas team.
Well, we've got 2 teams here tonight, Texas and our Sox. One going in one direction, the other going in the other direction.
Well, unfortunately, the Texas Rangers are the one going up. They're 3.5 games out of first place. They've won 6 of their last 10 games, and they're led by Prince Fielder. He's all everything this year, and the big man at first base is getting it done, whether he's a DH or whether he's playing. As you can see, hitting .344, leading the American League. He's sitting on 299 home runs. And the big man at .344 is one of the dominant factors in all of baseball.
Well, Chris Sale dominated these guys back on June 3rd. And we'll look for more of the same tonight because it's mullet night here at the ballpark. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Audi, truth in engineering. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. And by Toyota, see where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
You're listening to Kanan Smith, a Mercury Records recording artist, and he absolutely enthralled a crowd on Mullet Night here at the old ballpark. So welcome back to beautiful U.S. Cellular Field. It's a chilly night for baseball, and tomorrow these Texas Rangers will be here for a day game. It's going to be a whole lot warmer, but 61 degrees at this point. And let's take a look at how Jeff Bannister is going to line up his Rangers for the game tonight. It's Shin-Soo Choo leading it off with Elvis Andrus in the 2 spot. Joey Gallo playing third and hitting third with Prince Fielder, Adam Rosales, Ryan Rua, Robinson Chirino, Leonis Martin, and Hanser Alberto at second base hitting 9. The defense and how they'll line up behind Chris Sale, Melky Cabrera, Adam Eaton, Navasale Garcia in the outfield with Connor Gillespie, Lexi Ramirez, Carlos Sanchez, and Jose Abreu in the infield. Tyler Flowers getting nod behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Chris Sale. On for his 13th start, he's 6-3, his ERA just a touch over 3. 105 strikeouts in 80 2/3 innings, only 20 walks. Chris Sale has been magnificent, striking out 12 or more in 4 straight games. The umpires for the game tonight: Will Little behind the plate, Phil Cousins at first, the crew chief Jerry Davis at second, and Tony Randazzo is at third. So the Rangers, who got to their hotel this morning at 7:30 after playing the Dodgers last night, are ready. Chris Sale is ready, and we're ready. So I'll turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
Hi, Steve. Thank you very much. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So if you could join us for the first of this 3-game set. And this 3-game set will end this current brief 5-game homestand. So here is Choo, and the first pitch of the ball game taken for a strike. That one at 96. Rangers come in hitting at .250 as a club with a 3.94 ERA. And this is the 4th meeting of the year between these two teams. And the first 3 down at Arlington, they won 2 of them. Outfield for the most part straight up, about equidistant.
Have to be careful going inside to Choo because he doesn't mind getting hit by the baseball, although wouldn't feel particularly good if it's a Sale fastball.
No, that'll back a lot of guys off that being a part of their arsenal.
And Choo's fanned 64 times. Not likely to get a whole lot of comfortable at bats against Chris Sale.
And the 2-2 pitch. Short armed it. Inside out of it. High in the center field for out number 1. That was a good approach to that inside fastball right there.
Kind of surprising he got the bat on it because that ball was a good 3 inches inside, and Chris is throwing 96, and he can get it up higher if he wants it.
Well, if you're going to short stroke him with short arms, you can get the bat on it. Extension, you knock your thumbnail off. So here's Elvis Andrus hitting at .238, 3 homers and 24 knocked in.
He is a very good bunter and probably will try to test it out.
Well, this guy can do anything he wants to on the baseball field. He's just a ton of talent. He's 26 years old. And there's a good fastball strike on the inside corner, and the count 0-2. He's had a tough time against Chris, as most guys do, though. He's faced him 20 times. He has 2 hits. 97. High and away. That's inside.
Chris has done a nice job against his Ranger team. Lifetime 4-2 with an ERA of 3.89. So they've gotten to him a bit.
He gone.
When you see this slider for the first time, it's somewhat remarkable. The ball will wind up behind you if you swing at it. It comes tearing across the plate, and most guys don't have much of a shot.
So here is Joey Gallo, 21 years old. Talking with some Ranger people before the game and asked him how he's been doing at third base. They said he has been outstanding down there. There's a slider that just misses the outside corner.
He took Clayton Kershaw out of the ballpark to the tune of 439 feet, the longest home run any Ranger has ever hit against Kershaw. It was 2 straight sliders.
Well, he had won 471 down there as well.
Yeah, he's enormously strong, but he's not going to catch up to the Sale fastball in under his hands.
Well, it's certainly something that was expected of him when they called him up after his credentials in the minor leagues. He made a good pass at that one, and the count evens at 2.
It is mullet night, and there are a couple of them.
He gone. He knew it. And a 1-2-3 inning with a couple of punch outs for Chris Sale.
In Dunkerton, Iowa. Let's take a look at how Robin is going to line up our Sox for the game tonight. It's going to be Adam Eaton leading it off with Melky Cabrera in the 2 spot. He's been hot lately. That's Jose Abreu, Adam LaRoche, Abisail Garcia, Connor Gillespie at third with Alexei Ramirez, Tyler Flowers, and Carlos Sanchez rounding it out. The defense now in the lineup behind Colby Lewis. It's Rua, Martin, and Chu in the outfield with Gallo, Andrus, Alberto, and Rosales in the infield. Robinson Chirinos behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Colby Lewis. He's 6-3. ERA 4.37. This is 14th start. He's not overwhelming. He loves his slider. When he gets it in and down to the left-handers, he's pretty tough. If he can't, he can be had.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. There's first pitch strike. Adam Eaton. And for the most part, Colby Lewis has really pitched well against us. For some reason, he's always had good command. And that's right side. Answer.
That was a Lewis curveball. He doesn't like it as much as his slider, but he used it And unfortunately, Adam pounded it right into the ground. Take another look at it. It's straight over the top.
Well, the curveball against us has been his most effective pitch. And for some reason, he could just get a strike with it anytime he wanted to. Throw it any count. As here is Melky. He's 3 for 9 off Lewis. And he's changed speeds on it. So do the math. Oh, and 2 the count. Outfield. Spread out. Chu is deep and right. And that pitch popped up. Get out of here. It won't.
Last 5 starts against our Sox, Colby Lewis has been, well, pretty close to unhittable. 5-0, the ERA 124. 30 hits and 36 in the third. He's only walked 4. And he's not overwhelming. That fastball, it's hard pressed to hit 90 very often. But because he can change speeds and throw strikes, he's effective.
Brayu. Jose at 283. There's a bullet. All right, so with the Brayu first 2 out, let's check out our picks to click tonight. Jim Angio, our director and the crew, well, they went with LaRoche. He's going with Eaton and J.J. Shira and Jessica and all the great folks at Ditka's, Patty McDonald. We're going to go with Cabrera. Here's Adam. As we know, pitchers who change speeds on their breaking ball against us, at least, against us, have a lot of success, especially left-handers.
For all practical purposes, Lewis's stuff is very much like a lot of the softer tossing left-handers that we've faced.
It's almost a carbon copy, just the bookend.
Just throw with the other arm, throw with the right arm.
And that ball's going to be down for a base hit in the left field. Attaboy, Adam. A lot of base hits over there, buddy.
Lewis has gotten hurt on 2 fastballs. One to Abreu. That one was 89. This one 88. Adam LaRoche dumps it into left field, so a chance to break through here in the first inning.
Here's Avi hitting it 274, 7 homers, 26 knocked in. Leonis Martin in center, for the most part, started away just a couple of steps over towards his right.
Martin by far has the best arm in the outfield. Chu's arm used to be pretty good in right field. These days, not so much. And Rua, just an adequate arm in left. There's a guy that can really go get him, and when he does get it, he can throw it.
He's just a good player.
Yes, he is that.
Now Will Little's going to give Robinson, Torino, just a little time to shake it off. Will Little's one of the up-and-coming young, real good umpires. We have had him, every time we've had him behind the plate, he's done a terrific job.
Well, you've got to stay right with the Sale slider, because if you give up on it, you're not going to be able to call it, because it's so late and so quick and breaks so much that you got to be pretty good behind the plate if you're going to umpire a Chris Sale game.
Anybody with a real good hard breaking ball, umpires, it's one thing the catcher will say a lot of times first inning. Especially with the umpiring situation the way it is today, when you don't have any American League and National League, they are intermixed. The catcher will go out there and say, look, my guy's got a really good curveball. He's got a really good slider, so stay with him. And do it in a way that you're not putting him down.
No, I mean, if you're starting off the ball game, just alerting him that's the pitch. He's not going to bother you with that. I mean, he's going to understand it, and then maybe pay a little more attention.
Well, the good umpires will appreciate it, especially if they hadn't had that particular pitcher that often. They don't want to look bad.
And this is where Lewis has some problems because he's fallen behind.
2 on, 2 out to 3-1. He made a good pitch.
Perfect pitch. Low and away. Now the advantage, you take the force out of the equation with the runners going. But you can't make a better 3-1 pitch than that. Nabi. Best he can do is foul it away.
And the 3-2. Another pitch, perfect pitch. Right on the outside corner at the knees. And he is still swinging the bat.
Menard's pitch tracks will show you probably even a little better than the first. Especially in a situation where the hitter has to protect.
And a lot of guys, including the guy you're sitting next to, grabbing some bench on that first one. No chance of fouling it off.
It seems like a whole lot of hitters these days have a little better coverage on the outside part of the plate, especially on a fastball.
There's no question about it. There's no doubt about it. Chased a bad one there, and that'll retire the side. But we have a mild threat with 2 on, 2 out. Can't do anything with it.
Numbers are absolutely staggering. He's leading the league in hitting. He's leading the league in hits. He's leading the league in multi-hit games, and he's second in average with runners in scoring position. On base percentage is third. Runs batted in tied for third. And total bases and slugging percentage, all part of a very large package that has turned into the hitter they believed that he was when they traded for him from the Detroit Tigers after neck surgery, sitting out the year. He's back with a vengeance.
Well, I hated to see him injured last year. He's been one of my favorite guys to watch play, period. He is, I mean, he does it right. Never seen him dog it down the line.
No,
he busts his behind every time. He's been a tremendous asset to his profession.
Talking with a few guys on the Rangers before the game today, I asked them specifically about Prince as a teammate. To a man, they said he was a delight as a teammate. They just love him.
That ball's hit hard. Stay up, it will. That's a hang wolf one. Prince. Look at
You don't get many real good pitches to hit But when Chris fell behind, he threw the ball right down the middle. And the big guy unloaded on it. Menard's pitch tracks will show you a fastball that's fortunately what Chris did, and this is experience. He took something off it, threw it 91 miles an hour, so instead of the sweet spot, he caught it just off the sweet spot. There was a line drive instead of a home run. At 97, that probably goes out of the ballpark.
And here's the Sox killer, and Chris Sale. He's 7 for 14 against Chris with 3 home runs. Adam Rosales, local guy. He said, I was talking with him before the game. He said it's always nice to come back home. And he's the kind of guy you just wish well, except for this 3-game series.
Well, when this year concludes, he'll be finished with his 6th year. And you look at those numbers. I asked him about those numbers. He said, it just seems like when I face a guy like Chris Sale, no pressure on me. He said, Chris is supposed to get me out. So anything I do is a plus. Maybe I relax subconsciously, and whatever it is, well, he's done a terrific job.
Two and two. He gone right on the inside corner. Get the piece of the plate.
It's 3 strikeouts, 2 of them called. Now Tyler wants it low and away. Instead, comes down and in, does a nice job of framing it. Adam can't believe it. Maybe because Tyler was sitting up away, but that ball had part of the play.
Real little. Does not miss many. First pitch strike. Rua. Ryan Rua.
He's a line drive hitter. He doesn't have a whole lot of pop, but he makes pretty solid contact. He's not facing the usual pitcher tonight.
Two out, 1 and 2 the count. Just did get a piece of it. He gone. The old changeup got him. 4 strikeouts now for Chris. And we'll go to the bottom of the 2nd.
Game brought to you by Miller Lite.
And a reminder, Wednesday night, tune in to Plus for a big MLS Eastern Conference match as the Fire host DC United. DC United, as coverage begins at 7 on CSN Plus. No score, bottom of the second. Gillespie, Ramirez, and Flowers.
That was a great shot because you bring your youngsters to the ballpark. You teach them a lot about this beautiful game. You give them a great experience. Obviously, they love the concession stands, but you make them baseball fans early, and that father is doing it with his son.
Gillespie at 242, 3 homers, 14 driven in. Hunter had a good game at third base last night as well.
Join us for Selfie Sunday on June 21st at 10:15. First 500 fans to purchase a special ticket can join us on the outfield warning track at U.S. Cellular Field and take selfies with select players. Visit whitesox.com/Selfie Sunday for tickets and more information.
So here's Ramirez, 226. Couple of homers, 24 knocked in. Takes first pitch strike.
He was thinking about laying it down and had Joey Gallo charging at third base.
Well, when you're struggling, we've talked about this in the past, and certainly we are struggling. There's no doubt about it. It's never a bad thing to fake or attempt a couple of bunts so you can see the pitch all the way. Most of the time, one of the reasons that you're not seeing or you're hitting the ball is the fact that you're just not seeing the ball. I judge hitters by how long they see it. Do they see it 54 feet, 55 feet, 56, 57? When Alexei's going good and hitting that fastball, he's seeing it about 56, 57 feet. The last week or 10 days, 2 weeks, he's been seeing it probably 53, 54 feet. Now, who's going to hit the most? All you got to do is do the math.
Alexei's got to find some way out of these doldrums.
One of the greatest habits a hitter can get into is watching the ball all the way into the catcher's mitt. And how many guys do it?
Not too many. Not too many these days.
No. Andrus. Boy, we got some talented shortstops in this league.
It certainly does go in cycles, however, as now we're seeing a lot of young guys come up. We saw Correa from Houston. We will see Lindor from the Indians. You add them to an already very talented crew around baseball, and shortstop's one of the great positions. We have found, however, a lack of third baseman around, although there's some youngsters coming.
Third base and catching.
Yep.
Catching and third base is a better way to put it. Tyler takes first pitch strike. And he takes second pitch strike right at the corner at the knees.
Next half inning, we're going to be talking with Nancy Flowers, the beautiful wife of Tyler, and their launch of Flo's Buds. Nancy will tell us all about it, and it's a community program with Mercy Home for boys and girls.
Chopper, low throw, bad throw by Joey Gallo. So he'll pick up his 5th error.
Gallo had plenty of time. but then got under the throw. He's taken all kinds of time. Just threw it right into the ground. That one actually is a little easier to field because it skipped off the grass. But Adam couldn't corral it.
Make him pay right here. Carlos. Carlos, a much better offensive player than he is. But everything is contagious. You're in a lineup, especially a youngster, a rookie. The rest of the guys are not swinging the bats well, scoring runs, getting hits. You fall right in with them. It's an old saying, your environment will get you. Either positive or negative. Underneath it, can of corn, and that'll retire the side. No score after 2.
Players do that they don't get a lot of publicity on, but this is Nancy Flowers, beautiful wife of Tyler, and they're doing something called Flows Buds, and I'll have her explain it because she does such a wonderful job of it.
Thank you, Steve. So Flows Bud is a program that we just started, and it's working with the kids at Mercy Home. And if you guys aren't familiar, Mercy Home's been around for about 100 years, and they take kids from places, abusive family areas or gang areas, and they put them, the kids can actually live in the home, and they go to school. They'll transfer to a different school if their school isn't the best one for them, and they'll get a job, and it just kind of stabilizes these kids and gets them back on the right track.
You told me something that's not hard to believe, but it's somewhat surprising in that there's no public funding to this component. What'd you say, 98%? This is all on donations. So
exactly. Your
program is even more important. And how do our folks get to you guys to help out?
Yeah, we will take any help we can get. What this program, it has a 2-capacity program. The first is that we're going to bring the kids to the ballpark. They can come kind of watch the guys hit BP and then come watch a game. Secondly is we have personally decided to donate $1,000 for every win that the White Sox get this year. So we need to start winning. And then we'll welcome anyone else to join us in the donation. Our donation goes straight to the education of these kids. We feel that education is the kind of the pillar that we want to focus on to get them back on the right track. So our donations goes to schooling and tutoring for these kids.
Talking with Tyler today, he's very enthusiastic about this. He obviously realizes that it's so important to take care of our youth, and you guys are trying it. So congratulations. Let's hope that you, number one, give away a lot of money with a few more Sox wins, and number two, a lot of people join you guys in contributing to what is a wonderful organization.
Thank you so much.
And the 2-2 pitch. Chirinos hitting at 212, 6 homers, 24 driven in, and Chris with the payoff.
Chirinos is a pretty strong guy. He can put a charge into him every now and then.
And that is caught on the exploding bat trick.
There's a look at Mercy home, and there is the check. Tyler Flowers kicking things off with a check for $20,000. The Flowers have also pledged $1,000 per win this year, and there you see one of the youngsters. Tyler was telling me about a gentleman who was 66 years old, was dropped off at this facility when he was 10. He's been living there 56 years, and he has a very comfortable place to live, and they provide a great service.
Half slider way outside to Leonis Martin. He has faced Chris 3 times. He's 0 for 3. And that pitch just a little bit low. And that one grabs a strike. Here at the ballpark, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center. 2-2.
Chris wants to keep this streak going. He's fanned at least one batter in each of his last 29 innings. It's the longest active streak in the major leagues.
Full count. Still trying to find that release point on that slider. That's the thing about guys like Chris Sale. They find their release points. He gone. You as a hitter are in big, deep trouble.
That changeup is what really separates him from the good pitchers. It makes him a great pitcher. He can throw it to the lefties and the righties. Doesn't matter which one. It's equally as mystifying, and they're swinging at the motion as opposed to the baseball, because he tucks it back in his hand and you can't read it.
There's a fastball strike to Hanser Alberto. Well, if you don't make any adjustments to the plate off him, you're going to go 0 for 4, probably with 2 or 3, 4 strikeouts.
Especially because, number one, he throws very hard, as we know, and he's got 3 pitches, so you can't really guess with him, and he has various speeds off those pitches. So if you're going to guess with him, you got some problems. You just, you talk about it all the time, Hawk, is looking for the fastball, because you're not going to hit the other stuff. You might as well look for the fastball, see if you can hit it.
Well, I'll tell you the difference on Chris Sale. The guy's left-handed with great sliders. And he has got maybe the best left-handed slider I've ever seen, and that's including Sam McDowell's, who had the greatest stuff I've ever seen overall to this day. But White Sox used to have a left-hander named Gary Peters, and he was the only left-hander that I ever hit against wearing a basketball knee pad on my right knee, because he was going to try to take that right kneecap off with it.
Well, Chris can throw that slider so hard and so far in that he actually throws it behind you when he swings.
He gone. 6 strikeouts now through 3 innings of work for Chris Sale. Licensed team gear from CSNChicago.com's Blackhawks shop. Browse our catalog to score great team apparel. And don't get left out. Visit the Blackhawks shop at CSNChicago.com and pick up your championship merchandise today.
The way Chris Sale is throwing tonight, one run could be enough. And Colby Lewis, he had a tough first, got out of it with a strikeout of Garcia, then worked his way through a fairly easy second.
Adam just looking at that pitch all the way, takes ball one. Boy, I'll tell you, those Blackhawks. To me, they're the most exciting team in all of sports. They are fun to watch, and they are the poster child for TWTW. They have that will to win. What a team.
If you want to join us on Sunday, the Cup will be here at U.S. Cellular Field. It's Father's Day. Stanley Cup will be here, and we certainly look forward to that.
Two and two. Yeah. I only had a certain amount of time left. I could only watch one team for the last couple of months. It would be the Blackhawks. Got him with a high breaking ball.
Probably not where he wanted to throw it, but it was effective. Got to believe that Stanley Cup is the hardest trophy in all of sports to win because of the length of time it takes to win it, the physical aspect of the endeavor, and the different types of teams you're playing through every round. It's pretty remarkable.
It's hard to beat playoff hockey. Duncan Keith, just to me, is amazing. I mean, utterly amazing. How he can go that hard for that long. That's crazy. Melky's gone. 2 down.
That's 3 strikeouts for Lewis. And when you consider the scarcity of defensemen that the Blackhawks had, and Duncan Keith playing just about 50% of the time, sometimes more than that, pretty remarkable. First time through the order was 2 up, 2 down, and then Jose and Adam get back-to-back singles.
One. Jose ripped a single in the hole between third and short. Two out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. First of a 3-game set.
That was the first breaking ball that he showed Jose. Kept it in a perfect spot. Blowing away out of the zone.
Tomorrow, that's a 110 game tomorrow. Make your plans to be with us. We got another good left-hander out there. Carlos Rodon against Nick Martinez, a right-hander. And in the finale of this series and this homestand, another good left-hander for us, Jose Quintana against Giovanni Gallardo. Now, tomorrow's game will be over Comcast Sportsnet and Sundays over WGN. As he got him on the inside corner, so he struck out the side, and we're into the 4th.
7 times out, 6 of them with 10 strikeouts or more, 4-2 with a spectacular 1.52 ERA. Look at the strikeouts, 79 to 10 strikeouts to walks for just 27 hits. And he's got more of the same type of stuff, maybe even better stuff here tonight.
Here's Chu. Shin-Soo. Went out to center field, gets that breaking ball, puts a little sort of a little defensive swing on that one. 1 pitch, 1 out.
The White Sox have dedicated tomorrow as Father-Daughter Day. On this special day, all fathers and their daughters are invited to enjoy a day at the ballpark. There will also be the opportunity to participate in a pregame parade. To purchase specially priced tickets, visit whitesox.com/dad.
Here's Elvis. Andrews struck out. Takes ball 1. And if you did not hear, Alex Rodriguez homered for his 3,000th hit.
Came off Justin Verlander.
That's the 3rd player to do it with a home run. What a tumultuous career he has had.
It has been that.
I got to tell you, when he first broke in with Seattle, first of all, I know Alex pretty well. There's not a bad bone in his body. Now, did he make some mistakes? Sure. That's foul away. But there's not a bad bone in his body. And I thought he had a chance, as we talked about it at the time. Wimpy was my partner. We used to talk about it. This guy's got a chance to be the greatest player we've ever seen. Period. Bar none. And the funny thing about it was, he had Ken Griffey Jr. playing behind him in center field, who wasn't all bad.
Well, a lot like Barry Bonds, they were Hall of Famers before they got involved in anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never met Barry Bonds, and I don't want to. But I'll tell you, he was a Hall of Famer before all that stuff. One out, and the payoff pitch. Off the end of the bat with a change. And he gets it. What a nice backhand. Toss by Abreu. Good play, Jose.
Reminiscent of the Burley Canerco opening day toss between the legs. This one not quite as dramatic, but a lot of spin on the ball, hits the heel of the glove, bounds away, and Chris Sale where he should be, which is close enough to the bag to barehand it, step on the bag in the same motion, and they get him out.
And good, Phil Cussy stayed right with that play too. A lot of times an umpire give up once that ball's bobbled like that.
Chris with a big smile on his face has that perfect game intact.
Here's Gallo. He struck out, called out his first trip. .42 home runs he hit last year. He had 40 the year before. So again, he came in with some huge expectations. And boy, did he start off in fine fashion.
That debut, homer, double, and a single, triple shy of the cycle in Texas. Pretty impressive.
You get 40 home runs today in the minor leagues. That's quite an accomplishment. Jeff Bannister's not. He's going to let him see the best right off the bat.
I talked with Steve Buechele about that. Buechele, one of their coaches. What he said was, we get a team of left-hand hitters. We cannot sit all of them down against Chris Sale. So there's a look at Steve.
Good third baseman.
Yeah, former pretty good third baseman with Dave Maggott in their hitting coach.
He gone. 1-2-3 inning. 7 strikeouts, and we'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Adam LaRoche, Bobby Garcia, and Connor Gillespie to face Colby Lewis, 6'4", 245-pound right-hander. He of the good control Lewis's. Not overpowering Lewis's.
No, he's not going to throw much of anything by here. But he's going to drop a lot of breaking balls over the plate.
Adam singled into left field. If you're just tuning in, I know. Yes, he did. Left field. One and one.
Lewis has been pretty durable for this team. He's gone at least 7 innings in each of his last 3 games.
There's a shot. Alberto got him. 1 out.
Well, let's take a look at the play at first as Jose stays with it after bobbling it and flips it back to a bare hand catch. And back to April 5th of 2010. This is opening day. And Mark Burley into foul territory with the glove flip in a bare hand. What a play that was.
Well, I remember, I'd like to ask Mike if he had the sound on it, because Steve said he just saw the play of the year on opening day.
It was amazing to me. First of all, Mark Burley can really field, and that ball caromed off him. And again, he stayed right with it.
Gallo with a beautiful stop. The peg. Can't get him. Does he a base hit for Ivy on a good play by Joey Gallo.
That one could have easily gotten down the line, and he made it very close. Even after he caught it, he had a while before he could set himself and get the throw. Finally plants on the grass. But
well, he made the right throw.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get it there much more quickly. He got a strong arm. Nothing wrong with that.
So here's Connor. Grounded out softly. So Rosales at first. That ball hit hard into left center field. Martine's not going to get it. One hop off the top of the fence. Now they're going to wave him around. Good throw is going to be close. And they get him. Elvis Andrus.
Now Robin wants to come out, and he wants to check on this.
He's going to talk about the catcher with the plate, I believe.
Martine's got a good arm. All he's got to do is get it to Andrus, who's also got a good arm.
Oh, Robin's got a case. Blocking the line before he had the ball.
Well, we've seen this rule interpreted
this
any
is
number
brutal.
of ways.
This is absolutely a brutal rule that they have, and they're going to have to do something to change it. Whether we win this or you're not going to get it, but it's just it's ridiculous. It's not baseball.
No, and it shouldn't be left to chance. You got some catchers that want to block the plate. You have other catchers who don't want to block the plate. So allow the guys who want to block it to block it. Allow the other guys to tag after the fact.
And let the runners who want to run over the catcher run over the catcher.
Well, that's it. But the rule has got to state that if you hit a catcher who's not blocking the plate, then you should be suspended. That will keep it from running over a guy who is out in front and unsuspecting, waiting for a throw.
I don't know how many umpires there are total. But let's just say, for figures, for conversation's sake, there's 80 umpires. You're going to have probably 60 to 65 different opinions and interpretations of that.
And the
it's
umpires,
like a fingerprint.
The umpires certainly don't want to have to interpret that play each and every time it happens. And you can eliminate all of that, and hopefully during the wintertime they will.
Pick him up, Alexei. Yeah, that rule. So they got to do something about that rule. Meanwhile, a beautiful relay play by the Rangers. Two and one. Slowly hit Andrus. Very quickly up with it. Got plenty of time. So a great relay play by Texas. Guns down Avi at the plate. There it is, our tail of the tape, top of the fifth inning. Here's Prince. He hit a rocket into right field. Caught by Avi.
Prince is the only guy to have squared it up. Chris Sale tonight, of course, you can't say that this is ever going to happen, but he certainly has no hit and possibly perfect game stuff. But this is one guy who's got to get by.
Well,
Chris has been all everything this year.
Well, Tyler's got him in a good rhythm, and he's keeping him in it. He gone. That's as big a part of anything as catcher into something like this. When you get a guy out there with the kind of stuff that Chris has got, and he's got his rhythm. I don't care if he takes one off the shoulder. If he takes one off the cup, you got to get it back to him and let him throw it.
Retired them all to this point, and he's got 8 strikeouts.
Rosales called out. Took a little something off that one. Had him way out in front.
Had him raised in Park Ridge. His folks still live there.
Oh, he has just killed us. When he was in that Oakland uniform, he beat us. And he has done a good job of continuing on beating us in that Texas uniform. Two one. Oh yeah, nice change up right off the end of the bat.
Here's another factor in Chris's game. He doesn't mind in a fastball situation throwing straight changes. And he completely baffled Rosales.
This is one reason I like to watch Rosales play as well. Little tad. Now watch it. He's going to bust it as hard as he can down that line all the way.
You're going to be a part-time player, and that's what Adam is these days. You got to do that.
Brewers struck out him on a good change up his first trip. That changeup misses.
And with the strikeout this inning, Chris has now gone 32 straight innings with at least one strikeout.
To Hopper, long peg. Good shift by Jose. On a high and wide throw. Meanwhile, halfway home, no score. All right, Chuck. Thanks, buddy. Tyler Flowers, Carlos Sanchez, and back to the top of the order with Adam Eaton. We have no runs on 4 hits, no errors. They have no runs, no hits, and 1 error here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Outfield, they're deep. Spread out, just a couple of steps towards left. That ball high and deep. He goes back, he looks up, and you can put it on the board. Yeah! A high towering drive by Tyler Flowers, and it's 1-0. Good guy.
4th home run of the year. He's driven in 14, and that was a high changeup. It's 82 miles an hour. It's right up in his eyes. Our 4th home run replay, and that was a mistake. That one came up, was pretty much spinning there, and Tyler took it way back.
That is a hanging changeup.
That one just said, "Here, hit me." He did, and that could be enough.
Takes the bunt, takes the strike. Carlos went out to Martin in center field. Of course, with that home run by Tyler, the Alex Nelius family, another donation to White Sox charities, and loving memory of Ursula.
Good play by Andrus as he barehanded that one. That came on with a lot of spin.
That's where he bad. He knew it was going to be spinning that way. If he got to catch it in the glove and then make the transfer, it might be late. But here is Eaton. He's grounded to second, and then he struck out on the hanging curveball. First to 3 against these Rangers. That's the 8th home run that Colby Lewis has thrown.
These Rangers who flew all the way in from Los Angeles after playing the Dodgers, losing 1-0 on a balk in the 9th. There's Jeff Bannister, his first year.
I tell you, God bless him. That man has gone through a lot in his life. And he has prevailed managing a major league ball.
Spent a lot of time in that Pittsburgh dugout before getting his opportunity with the Rangers.
They got in their Hall of Fame announcer. Great announcer. They got in at 7:15 they got to the hotel about 7:15 this morning.
Took them an hour and 15 minutes from the airport.
2 down.
Sox fans, join us on Saturday, July 4th at 1:10 as your White Sox take on the Orioles. The first 20,000 fans will receive a Bobby Jenks World Series Moment bobblehead presented by Comcast Sportsnet. For tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com/promos.
Melky has fouled out and struck out.
Few of the more strange mullets, but mullets nonetheless.
Yeah, my 2 buddies, Jerome and Tony, they look handsome in those mullets. 1-2 pitch. Abreu on deck. At the bottom of the zone, head part of the plate, but the home run, high towering drive by Tyler Flowers will go to the 6th. It is 1-0 Sox.
American Sale. And there you see it. A lot of goose eggs. 8 strikeouts. Retired all 15.
One nothing. Backdoor slider. Chirinos. 6 homers, 24 knocked in. Gas. 95. 0-2.
Well, that last guy you showed had a wig that looked just like Joe Posback's.
That's cold. One and two. That's got a piece of it. Outfield around to the right, bit of a gap in left center, and count evens at 2. Carlos has got him. 1 down.
There's been 8 strikeouts tonight. Chris has done them with a variety of pitches. That slider, the fastball looking. He's just had unbelievable stuff. The changeup has been very good. When you retire 16 in a row with 8 of them on strikes, you're getting it done.
Leonis Martin fouls it back. He struck out swinging his first trip.
I'm glad he's got 2 strikes now because it takes away the bunt out of the equation. And this was a get off me ball swing. Because that one was about 6 inches inside.
Oh, I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing with him. Put a few of those on pitches myself. That's out of play. I'll tell you who does that a lot too. He has a bigger laugh than anybody is Miguel Cabrera.
If he's looking for the ball away, you'll see that swing every now and then inside.
And he just starts laughing.
That's because he wants you back in again in the late innings there.
That breaking ball out and around it, and then hooks it. He gone. 2 down. 9 punch outs.
The K zone is ecstatic tonight. Tyler wants a fastball up. Chris gets it there and throws it right by him. And here's the range of the 2-seam fastball, 90 to 98. The changeup, 83 to 87, and the slider, 76 to 83.
Alberto, Hanser Alberto, struck out on the changeup his first trip, fouls that one away right side. One 5-0 for us. No runs, no hits, 1 error for them. And you can cancel the postgame show.
Well, that ball was low and out of the zone. It was a straight change, and he was able to guide it into center field. So, a perfect game, a no-hitter. Go by the boards. The shutout's still intact.
And a nice ovation for Chris.
Alberto has to go out of the zone. And he dumps it softly into center.
So here's Chu. He's going out to center and he's grounded to second. Slider, no. Just off the plate.
He got his fastball, but he didn't want it up there at 96.
Changeup grabs the strike. So 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. He gone. Double digits, 10 strikeouts through 6. And Chris leads it 1-0.
Friday, July 3rd at 7:10. Be sure to stay for the post-game fireworks show presented by Shark Week, which starts Sunday, July 5th on Discovery. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com. Promos.
Here's Jose. He's 1 for 2. Takes ball 1. Oh, he just missed it. Dadgummit. Andrus circles it. Finally, that's not good. You got a left fielder out there, and you got a center fielder right there. That's just not good. We've seen enough of that on our part.
I was going to say both of which could have made the catch. And Andrus is saying, "You want my glove?" Because it's a tough play for him. An easy play for Rua and Martin.
It's a can of corn for either one of those guys. But as I said, we have seen enough of that on our side. So here's LaRoche. He's 1 for 2. That's over. Get out of here. And he caught it. He stayed with it, and that's a nice play by Joey Gallo.
At 6'5", you got the wingspan to be able to concentrate and take it away from the fans. This is a terrific effort. Tony Randazzo on the play to take a look at it, and Gallo shows it to him. Yep, he's got it, he says.
Cunningham makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. We're into the 7th. 1-0 Sox.
This one off the end of the bat. Jose bobbles it but stays with it. The backhand flip, and Chris Sale with the bare hand touching the bag and making the play at first base. A good effort by both.
That's high into right field. Ivy. He's there. Fair ground. Makes the catch. One down.
Hey, Sox fans, all season long, you score with Papa John's Pizza. The day after the Sox score 5 or more runs, you get 50% off your entire online order at papajohns.com. You have to use a promo code SOX5 at participating Papa John's locations. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Joey Gallo 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Takes first pitch. Strike. A little bit low. And slider strike. He gone. That's 11 strikeouts. And there on your left is Hall of Fame announcer Eric Nadel. He is a good one. And of course, right is Matt Hicks, his partner. Boy, Eric has been there a long time. 21st year as lead voice on the Ranger radio broadcast. 37th year altogether in broadcasting. As there's that base hit by Prince back through the middle. So the second hit. Prince now 1 for 3.
Chris went to the fastball. He threw it in. So Prince, for the second time in 3 at-bats, hits it hard.
This guy right here against Chris scares me just about more than anybody. Take your time. He does, makes it. Rosales, who came in 7-14. And 3 homers against Sale. Meanwhile, 7th inning stretch, we lead at 1-0. Gillespie, Ramirez, and Flowers. Everybody trying to do something to get Chris another run or two. As that pitch is outside. Connor is 1 for 2. A ground out, soft ground out to first, and a hard double into left center field. 1-5-0 for us, 0-2-1 for them. First of a 3-game set. Out and around it, hooks it, four-hopper.
Time now for AT&T Uverse Multiview, and it was on the aforementioned double that they had a very good relay play. This one into Andrus, Martin, Andrus to Sharon, and he's out.
Alexei twice has gone out to his counterpart. Elvis Andrus pops this one up right side. Chu coming in, taking charge like he's a good player. He's a good outfielder.
Well, they signed him for a whole lot of money for a lot of years to come in and put a charge into this offense at the top of the order. Hit 8 home runs for a leadoff hitter. That's pretty good with 32 driven in.
Better believe it. Plus, he's a good outfielder. I mean, he's just a good player. He's a winning type player. Tyler. Here's what he did last time up.
He got one up in his eyes. And this a no-doubter.
Lowered away 2-0. Right on the outside edge of the outside corner. And that evens the count. Full. It's full.
Carlos in the on deck circle if Tyler can keep it alive.
Andrus can't get him. Beautiful effort by Elvis Andrus.
Looks like he's feeling the effects of this one as Andrus tries to stretch out. Makes a good play. Tyler with better than average speed for a catcher. Meeting the play at first.
All right, Carlos, come on, buddy. We got to get you warmed up here. We got to get you doing what you can do. Carlos 0 for 2 tonight. He's gone out to center and grounded to short. Takes it right there for a strike. And there's a base hit. Tyler will have to pull up. As Chu. Steve mentioned he didn't throw as well as he used to, but he still throws well enough where you got to be careful, because when he first came up, he had a gun.
Well, he was a pitcher and threw 95, and there was nobody that would run on him. These days, they're trying a little bit more, but this ball's hit so hard, and Chu is relatively shallow in right field. No chance for Tyler. Well, he'll stay at second base. The inning will stay alive for Adam Eaton. Two hits in the first, 2 hits in the fourth, now 2 hits in the seventh. Time to cash in 1 or 2 of these.
Adam is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. And that is ripped foul.
There you see a lot of goose eggs until solo home run in the 5th inning. Courtesy of Tyler Flowers.
Nice little gap out there in right center if he can find it. And Chu well off the line and right. And that's a strike. 0-2.
They look at some pretty good numbers, but going up against Chris Sale, you really can't afford even one mistake.
Change up.
There's Chris. He's made the K-zone very happy tonight with those 11 strikeouts.
Watch out.
This one way up and in.
A lot of hitters really love that pitch. I used to love it because it just goes to show you how easy it was to get out of it, get away from it.
Yeah.
Always thought a pitcher would be it's better than throwing it up and in. If you're going to do that, just knock somebody down. It has a different effect. He did not go. So it's Tony Randazzo.
That's the comfort pitch for Colby Lewis, and that is the slider down and in. Adam was not swinging. Jeff Samardzija threw the ball exceptionally well in his outing against Garrett Cole.
He's back. There's a base hit. That boy, Adam. So now they're going to have to hold Tyler. And a good thing they did. He would have been a gone goose easily.
That fastball out away from Adam. And because Rule was playing so shallow in left field, there's really no chance at all. So 3 hits, no runs, but there's nothing you can do.
That is symptomatic with going bad like we have been. Just think back now. Just think back when we've had opportunities, man on second or whatever. The base hit has been hit right at somebody rather than to their right or to their left, just right at them. And that's symptomatic with being in a funk.
Could have been a terrific insurance run. As it is, Mike Maddox goes to the mound. Been a pitching coach for 13 years between Milwaukee and Texas, the last 7 of which have been spent in a Ranger uniform.
I'll tell you, we've seen some good pitching coaches. We saw
Ray Searage.
Hickey. We saw Hickey down in Tampa Bay. We saw Surridge with Pirates. Now we're seeing him, Maddox. These are good pitching coaches. First pitch strike to Melky, who's 0 for 3. He's due.
Pretty decent speed all the way around.
All right, big pitch coming up to 1-1.
Ranger bullpen loosening up in a hurry.
2 out, Sox packed with Sox. And that's going to kick foul. So advantage goes to Colby Lewis.
Sam Freeman loosening up in a pen.
That ball hit softly in the right field. Everybody broke back. Now coming on. And look at the play by Alberto. That saved at least 2 and maybe 3 runs right there with that catch. Wow. Meanwhile, it's 1-0 Sox. Man.
Series by signing up for the Championship Giving Campaign. Fans can support the campaign by making a donation at special levels honoring the 2005 season. Donors will receive commemorative gifts for their donation. For more information, visit whitesox.com/championshipgiving. Gordon Beckham checks in the game defensively at third base. And Hanser Alberto very much kept this game in play for the Rangers. If he doesn't get to it because Chu couldn't, that's going to be multiple runs, 2 or possibly 3.
It would have been 3 because Adam Eaton was almost to third base when he made the catch. As here's Rua, can't get it. That could be a game saver.
Chris needs 1 more strikeout to join history.
And he's got an 0-2 count.
Only 2 pitchers have won 5 games with 12 or more strikeouts in each. Already his 6th straight start with 10+ strikeouts.
5 consecutive starts.
Yes.
He going, and there it is. 12 punch-outs.
Just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And here's the Miller moment. History for Chris Sale. At least 12 strikeouts in 5 straight games. And Rua is the 12th.
2 Hall of Famers, Pedro Martinez and Randy Johnson. Serenos can't get it. He is looped out to third. And there they are.
Randy with Seattle at the time. Pedro with Boston. He's done it 3 times, which is absolutely remarkable. And Chris Sale.
Well, for 6 years, he had a similar 6 years that Sandy Koufax had. 6 years, Sandy arguably maybe the greatest pitcher ever lived. And for 6 years, Pedro, there was no pitcher ever better than him for a right-hander.
No, and it's going to be celebrated by his entrance into the Hall of Fame.
And he's such a diminutive guy when he was playing.
Yeah, well, you looked out there, and if you looked too long, he threw him right at your head.
Well, that was part of his arsenal, a huge part. He was maybe, in his time frame, the most intimidating pitcher in the game.
And surprising, because he wasn't anywhere close to as big as a whole lot of other guys around. But
a lot of guys could have gone in and pinched his head off.
He had a nasty streak in him.
But he didn't care. He gone. 13.
There is lucky number 13. It's a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, and Coronas can't believe it.
Well, it had the part of the plate.
When you're around the plate all night, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt. And Chris does not have a walk tonight. He's been around the plate with everything.
Well, he talked about it in the first inning. Every time we've seen Will Little, he has been outstanding about it. There's only maybe one pitch that I thought he could have missed tonight. One of all the pitches that have been thrown. 0-2. And that was so close.
Now, he's been pretty much on top of it, and we talked about the fact that Chris is not easy to call.
Field bunched a little bit, swung slightly to the left, about equidistant.
Pitch number 111 on the way.
He go. 14 strikeouts, but here's the one that put him in the record books. Only 3 guys, 5 consecutive starts with 12 or more strikeouts. All right, Chuck, thank you very much. Bottom of the 8th inning, 1-0 Sox. And the first pitch to Abreu, he was 1 for 3.
Robin went up to talk with Chris Sale. David Robertson continues to throw in the pen.
1-1 the count. Not to be overlooked from the other side of the field. Colby Lewis has pitched his behind off.
No, he's been very tough. He just ran into the wrong guy tonight.
Good rip and just underneath. Good pitch. Ate him up inside. We'll be giving up the 1 run, a homer by Tyler, 8 hits. Hadn't even come close to walking anybody, and he has 5 strikeouts. Well, he got a cookie right there, and he missed it.
Yeah, Lewis was very fortunate to get away with that. To take a look on the Toyota pitch tracks of where this one winds up, it's another pitch very similar to the one that Tyler Flowers hit out of the ballpark.
That's going to be a base hit.
This one caroms off Lewis. That's a real bad position to field in. Falling off drastically to the first base side. Has his back to Jose as the ball hit him. And Jose with his second hit of the night.
Here's Adam. He's 1 for 3. He had a base hit to left field in the first inning. That is high into center.
It's time to cast your vote for the 2015 MLB All-Star Game starting lineups. Go to whitesox.com and cast your vote through the Assurance MLB All-Star Game ballot on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. Vote at whitesox.com now and be sure to catch all of the excitement of the 86th MLB All-Star Game July 14th live on Fox.
Here's Avi. Avi's 1 for 3. Huge gap out there in left center. Takes it right there.
David is probably loosened up at this point.
Hitters for them in the 9th. Alberto, Chu, and Andrus. One out, 0-2 the count with Abreu at first. Two down.
There was an example of 3 fastballs in a 4-pitch sequence that all were at different velocities. And that's one of the reasons why he was able to throw a fastball by Avi at 89. He threw 1 at 86, 1 at 85, 1 at 89. The last of which he threw by.
Well, it's all according to how it looks to the hitter coming out of the hand.
Yeah, because normally 89 would not be enough to overwhelm anybody, but when it's eye high, the pitcher's ahead of you, it's pretty effective.
Well, we have had 2 left-handers that if you put them on the gun, high pop-up. Gonzalez. So Beckham is retired, and we'll go to the 9th. It is a 1-0 Sox lead.
headquarters of the White Sox. Appetizers are half off our full menu from Gibson's Restaurant Group after every home game. And the two-story bar features 70 flat-screen HD TVs. White Sox Bar and Grill is located at the Gate 5 Plaza. David Robertson comes into the ball game on for the 27th time. He's 4.1 ERA, under 2, 13 for 16 in save opportunities. The opposition doesn't hit him very well, to the tune of 176.
And a pinch hitter. It will be Rougned Odor hitting for Alberto, who got the first hit on a low changeup back in the 6th inning off Chris Sale. What a job for Chris. Outfield straight up. Takes it up high, ball 1.
Odor was one of those guys coming out of this system that the Rangers thought would just take over and not look back, but it hasn't been a real easy ride for the youngster.
There's a strike to even the count. Chris went 8 innings, no runs, 2 hits, no walks, at 14 strikeouts, and put his place in the history books. One of only 3 guys, if you're just tuning in, strike out 12 or more in 5 consecutive starts. Jam him, ate him up, pop up, Alexa. But yet, I got a little different perspective on this. I don't think the strikeouts even came into Chris Sale. Knowing him like I do, I don't even think they came into play tonight. I think he had just had enough of this losing streak.
Well, he went out there with the express purpose of completely shutting out the Texas Rangers.
That's right.
As long as he had to do it.
He wanted to win.
Yep.
He wanted, that's how Chris Sale is. He wanted the win. He'd rather have the win than have the other.
Oh, I don't doubt that for a minute.
Here's Chu. Can't get it. Shin-Soo is 0 for 3. Fly out to center, grounder to second, and a strikeout swinging.
And I'm sure there have been times when Chris Sale had stuff this good. I just can't remember any where he's had any better stuff than this.
You said it back in the 4th inning. And I agreed that what we were looking at, you said he had no hit stuff tonight, and if he got 1 run, that might be enough. So you were 1 for 2.
Well, a couple of base hits, really. The Prince Fielder base hit was the solid one. But Alberto with a great catch and a base hit.
Breaking ball in the count 1 and 2. And in the 5th inning, we got the 1 run.
Yep.
Tyler's homer.
Kind of nice when your battery mate can do it for you.
Checks it up, fouls it off.
I think Chu caught a break because that would have been called a swinging strike. But he just barely got a piece of it.
Brayu back, couple steps off the line at first. Tried to throw it right underneath his hands.
Yeah, that's the only thing you got to be careful of, because he doesn't mind stepping in the way of one.
Full count with Elvis Andrus on deck.
And regardless of how you get it done, you want to end this one before you see Prince Fielder. So with Andrus up, Gallo in the on deck circle, and then the big guy is up behind him.
And Andrus has had good success against Luke's dad. He is 3 for 8 off Robertson. 2, just a decent lead. There's a good strike. He has yet to attempt the stolen base.
Yeah, there was a time when he was stealing 20 a year without a great deal of difficulty. But those days are gone.
That was a good one. Pitch.
Yeah, didn't get
That's
it.
one of maybe the only pitch he's missed tonight. Will Little.
His ball had the outside part of the corner.
And there's a base hit, so 1 out, 2 on.
Andrus with his first hit. That ball low and in. He goes down and gets it.
So here's Joey Gallo. He's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. And Prince is on deck. Shanks that one.
Gallo has yet to ground into a double play. He has an extreme uppercut swing.
Just watching him in the times they have the short time, it looks to me like from a right-handed pitcher's perspective, if you're going to go inside, it better be with a slider. It better be with something moving in on him, not just a straight fastball on the inside corner.
He's pretty quick.
As long as it's keeping digging in on him, I think you're going to be all right. If it flattens out or stays over the inside corner, you're in trouble. Ball gets away. Both runners are going to advance. Oh, mercy. Mercy, mercy, mercy. Well,
there's a big advantage to this. If
I'm
you
getting
get
ready
out
to
Gallo.
say it might be a break.
Yep. If you can get out Gallo on the wild pitch here, get him out, then you've got to move Prince to first base.
It might be a break.
There's some heads up base running, and for Tyler Flowers, a good thought to try to get the trailer. But Andrus just runs too well. So Andrus comes over to have a talk. Robin has had his chat.
And just to sum it up very briefly, it's something like, let's get this guy and then put Prince on and go to Rosales.
I would assume that's exactly what he told him. But first things first.
The 1-2 pitch.
Absolutely froze him with a curveball. Fourth time tonight, third time looking. Joey Gallo's gone down on strikes. Could not pull the trigger, but that was a game plan. Strike out Gallo, walk fielder, and see what happens.
I'll tell you, in situations like this, I've always believed to bring one of the infielders in and put him behind the catcher. Just in case. I haven't seen it very often in my long tenure in this game, all the parts of 7 decades, but I have seen it 3 or 4 times. The game was lost because
threw one away.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Mitch Moreland. He's going to pinch hit for Adam Rosales. Moreland hitting an even .300. He's been called on 3 times as a pinch hitter. He's been successful 2 of those 3 times with a run batted in.
And he has faced Robertson 3 times, and he is 2 for 3.
Now Will Little goes out to talk about it, making sure that he breaks it up. A tough out is Mitch Moreland.
You better believe it. Against a right-handed pitcher, he is double tough. Sox pack, 2 down, top of the 9th, 1-0 Sox. Takes ball 1.
Brewer with the bases loaded. Pretty impressive.
And it's a 2-1 ball game.
Mitch Moreland drives in his 32nd and 3rd runs of the year. With that base hit, Chris Sale cannot win, as that one stays right down over the middle of the plate, and Moreland with a short stroke. For the moment, a crushing base hit.
Here's Rua. He is 0 for 3 tonight. Takes first pitch strike. For our guys, lower third of the order, Ramirez, Flowers, and Sanchez, the scheduled hitters.
So Tony Beasley, the third base coach, talking with Prince Fielder.
Ball hit hard, but hard foul. You know, they come up with 2, and we'll go to the bottom of the 9th, trailing 2-1. 12:30 with White Sox pregame live, presented by Lexus of Orland and Maryville, right here on CSN Chicago.
There are some changes. Odor stays in at second base. Mitch Moreland stays in at first. And Sean Tollison on the hill. 9 for 9 in save opportunities. He was given last night off because he pitched in 3 straight games, 5 walks, 33 strikeouts in 31 innings.
Well, that catch by Alberto has turned out at this point to be a game set.
So Chirinos goes out to have a word with Tollison.
Here's Alexei. Chuck has come out on deck to hit for Flowers. Alexei's 0 for 3. He's due. And here's a catch we just talked about. Bases loaded, 2 outs.
Well, it was clear from the beginning that Chu was not going to get there. He took a bad break on the ball. But unfortunately, Alberto able to chase it down.
One out.
J.B. Shuck coming on a pinch hit.
Tyler was 2 for 3 with a homer.
So Tollison probably doesn't know a lot about him, and Mike Maddox is coming out to have a word with him, to give him the scouting report on what exactly they want to do with him. Came to the big leagues with the Dodgers starting in 2012. Last year, a very good year with these Rangers, but wasn't asked to save anything. .276 ERA and 64 appearances.
Chuck takes ball 1. Popped up left side. It's going to stay in here. And Gallo makes an over-the-shoulder catch.
Well, he made 2 terrific catches tonight. Didn't do much with the bat, but 2 great catches. This one toward the tarp. Ball drifting away. Catches it in the palm of his glove. Gio Soto coming out, and he will pinch hit for Sanchez. And last night, Gio got a cold fastball right down the middle. It tied the game at 2. Things looked pretty rosy at that point. Unfortunately, the Pirates, as they did each and every one of those games, came back. Gio Soto comes out at 2:15 with a chance, one swing of the bat, to tie up the ball game.
Looking at it, takes it right there. That still boils down to one thing. You got to catch the ball. Hits the ball. And you also have to score some runs.
Great night for Chris Sale. He went 8 innings, struck out 14. 5th consecutive start of 12 or more strikeouts.
2-1. Come on, Gio. One more time, buddy. 3-1 the count.
Adam ready if Gio can keep it alive.
And that is ball 4.
Outfield is probably as deep as you'll ever see them play for Adam Eaton. If Martin was any deeper, he'd be almost on the warning track.
Hey, right where he should be.
Got to play no double set. Got Melky in the on deck circle if Adam can keep it alive. And Moreland wants to know if they want him on the bag or in front of the bag.
No, they want him to hold him on with it. No double set in the outfield, which is a little unusual. Being that Gio was
not the
prolific base stealer.
Not the swiftest around.
The outfield is in. You might want to hold on. Not when they're that deep. Takes it right there. Count 1-2.
This one at 95 has the whole plate. He meant to throw it low and away, so Tolleson does not have his good control tonight.
Two and two. Come on, get on for Melky. Good rip. Stay on him. Good rip.
Got another fastball down the middle. Chirinos wanted it on the outside corner. Tolleson did not get it there.
Full count.
Throws a changeup. Chirinos does a nice job of blocking it. And now Moreland will most likely play behind him.
If he doesn't, we got a scoop. So 2 out. And there he goes. And that hit him. And here comes Melky.
Puts a tying run at second base. And we talked to you about the control of Tolleson is just not there tonight. wanted the fastball in, not that far in, and Gio had a great break.
Melky has faced Tollison one time, and he's 0 for 1. Now from a no double set, deep in the outfield. The outfield comes in. They know with Gio at second that they got a shot at throwing him out.
That's why the secondary lead at second base is so important.
Melky is 0 for 4 tonight, so he is due.
This one just dives out of the zone. And Melky, with the eye identifying fastball, cannot check it up.
Big gap out there in right center. Oh, mercy. He got a nice pitch to hit right there.
Got it thigh high on the inside portion of the plate and fouled it back.
It was a cookie. Now the count 0-2. And Melky with a huge strike zone on the 0-2. That ball in the short right field, going back as Odor makes the catch, and this ball game is over. A tough loss. Chris Sale was absolutely stunning tonight. He went 8 innings, no runs, 2 hits, no walks, had 14 strikeouts, and it just still boils down to one thing: you got to score some runs.
The offense has not been there, but Chris Sale could hardly have been any better. Didn't give up anything on 2 hits with the 14 Ks, the 5th straight start with 12 plus. That ties a major league record, and unfortunately, 1 run short.
All right, so for Steve Stone, our director Jim Angio, our producer Mike Leary, and our associate producer Dave Ross, our technical manager Mark Harper, also for the Mayor Mean Joe Group and Frank D'Amato, Mike Mayer, Paul Carey, Frank Leone, and the executive producer Jim Corno Jr. This is the Hawks So Long, everybody. Coming up next, Subaru Postgame Live with Chuck and Bill. You've been watching White Sox baseball on Comcast Sports Net.